Hello. If you are meeting me for the first time, my name is Canis and I'm a quantity surveyor. On today's video, I want to be doing something different, even though I am yet to conclude the aspect of the preliminaries, but I want to spice up the video with a different uh, thing that concerns the quantity surveyor, which is a tool that the quantity surveyor uh, uses always if he understands how to use it. And today I am going to expose us on how to use Excel for takeoff. Do you actually know that if you know how to use Excel for takeoff, if you know how to use Excel very well, you can prepare a format in such a way that you can measure the whole quantities for a duplex in one day. Yes, you heard me right. One day you'll be able to conclude the measurement of the quantities for a duplex. And if you have your bill already prepared, link with your unit rate and the unit rate linked with your schedule of basic rate. What you needed to do is to go to the market, get the prevailing price, go to your basic rate, change all the unit rate there, and your your uh, your rate, your build-up rate will automatically be updated and already linked to your bill of quantities. And as soon as you put your quantities, this spreadsheet as well can be linked to the bill, where as soon as you are putting the information, the quantities are going to the bill of quantities immediately. And if your bill of quantities linked to your um, to your basic rate, not your basic rate, your build-up rate, and then your build-up rate is linked with the schedule of basic rate. And once the schedule of basic rate is updated, instantly in the space of 2 days, you'll be able to prepare a bill and you hand over to the client. You give to the client and you collect your money, whatever charge you, rather than spending weeks trying to do something that you can actually do in 2 days with the help of Excel. So having said this, I am going to use a typical duplex drawings to illustrate how fast it is dwelling on the substructures. You will see with me that uh, the substructure is not going to take us, 10 minutes thereabout to finish up the measurement of the substructures. I mean the substructure. And what you are seeing on the screen here is a spreadsheet that I've prepared, and you can see here I have almost 10 to 12 items already. As soon as I put the information where it ought to be, these quantities will all come out. The excavation for the part foundations will come out, the working space earthwork will come out, the earthwork support, the backfilling, the leveling and compacting, the anti-termite, the disposal, blinding, concrete, formwork, and formwork for blinding. Then reinforcement as well will come out. And you see why I had to do this is for the purpose of educating us. Ordinarily, as somebody that has mastered this act, I don't need all of this. But why I'm putting it is for you to know where each of the formulas that are in the cells, where you have the quantities, how it's been, how I arrived at it. So as you can see, the column for the quantity of footing is A, the length of the footing is B, the breadth of the footing is C, and the depth, which is the thickness of the footing, is D. Why the depth of the thickness of the blinding is E. Why the spread for blinding is F and G. Why the working space for length and the breadth is 600. Then you have the K, which is if it is a drawing that the natural ground level has been determined and the invert level has been determined. Just what you don't need to do here is to put, say, if the natural ground level is 60 and the uh, the the invert level is 57. What you don't need to do, the depth will now be natural ground level minus invert level. It gives you the left depth is 3 meters. It's 3 meters. So that is why this column. Then, if a situation whereby you're not giving the natural ground level and the invert level, and you want to determine the level directly from the drawings, what you needed to do is just to put the depth directly after calculating the depth from the sections of the drawing. You just put it directly here. Then, as you can see in the excavation, there are some builds where the excavations are categorized into their depth, 0 to 1.5, 1.5 to 3, 3.5 to 4, and all of that. That is why you see this column here. I have category 1 to 0, 0.155, 1.53. So for the drawings we are going to be using, the category of excavation is just 0 to 1.5. So you can see, for me to get this formula here is saying n, which is the next column, because I ended at meaning I lettered them m here. Then the next one is n. So the formula in n is a times b, a times b times c times l. L is the depth, which is this. Y, a is the quantity, b is the length, c is the breadth, and the depth is the L. So then for working space, as you can see, the formula is set. That is, the cell now number is O, and O equals to the quantity is A, is this the column A, then by 2 times length plus breadth, then times E, which is the width of the working space, times L, which is the depth, then earthwork support is the column is P, then the quantity is A times 2 times B plus A times L, which is the depth. Then P1 is equals to N, backfilling. Backfilling is N minus S minus T minus V. You are taking off the excavation minus disposals, the one you are disposing, and minus the concrete footing, gives you this. Then where is the disposal, gives you this. Then blinding is it's T. No, okay, we're at backfilling. Then leveling and compacting is just the bottom of this is Q, A times B times C. That is, A is the quantity, B times C is the length and breadth. Then anti-termite is the sides and the bottom. That's why you see the formula is this is R equals to A, which is the quantity, times B times C, which is the bottom, plus A, which is the quantity, times 2 times B plus C times the depth, which is the sides. Then concrete is disposal, which is just the concrete, is X. So you are taking off the concrete alone. That's what you are disposing: the space, the blinding concrete, and the structure, the footing concrete is occupying is what you are disposing. Formwork, of course, we know what it is. Having said this, so we go to the drawing immediately and check what it is. For week of reference, I've been able to extract the footings. We have 3 types of footing. We have foot 1, we have B1, B2, and B3. And B1 is a 2 number, B2 is 2, B2 is a 17 number, and B3 is a 1 number. And their sizes is 1.5 by 1.5 by 35, 1.5 by 1.4 by 1.4 by 35, 1.2 by 1.2 by 35. So we'll quickly go to the sheet now. We go to the column of B1, we said there's two numbers. I have it's 1.5 and 5 by 1.5 by 0.35. Then this is 17 number. 17 number. Why this is one number, and it's 1.2, 1.4, 1.2. Then I drag this way. So this three information I have dropped here have given me all quantities that you saw already. The depth, we go to the drawing so that we can see the depth, how we calculated the depth. We all know as quantities of yours. The depth is from here. Since I don't have natural ground level here, and they did not indicate what is the building is projected from the natural ground level by whatever. So I assume, that is my assumption. I assume that I took the, ordinarily, this one is filling, back filling. This hardcore, that is filling to make up level, and at the same time hardcore. So I am not taking this to say, okay, the depth of the foundation is from 850 and this. So I'm taking all up to the bottom of the grade slab. So for me to take that, I add 350, 350, 700, 700 plus 700 plus 800, that is that is 700 plus 850, that is 1.7, that 1.55 plus 50 make 1.6. That is why you saw 1.6 here. For 1.6, so as soon as I put the depth of the foundation, immediately automatically I'm getting my excavation 62, my working space excavation 107, my earthwork support, my backfilling, my leveling and compacting, anti-termite disposal, blinding, concrete, and formwork. Then we go to the reinforcement. We go to the reinforcement. Let's go to the reinforcement drawing that gives us the illustration of what we can get, what it is for purpose of time. Normally, we all know how to calculate this, but for purpose of time, I'm going to do a rough estimate here. You have 1.5, which is the length by 1.5, and the information here says the cover is 50. So you come back here, 1.5 minus 100, both 50-50 is 1.4. 1.4, then the return of the reinforcement, we have 35. 35 minus 100, you have 30. Minus 100, you have 250. 250 both ways. You now have 500. 500 plus 1.4, that's 1.9. 1.9, and the reinforcement is 12, and it's 9 numbers. So I come to Y12 here. I said 9 numbers times 2, which is both ways, times 1.9. But a situation whereby you are given the bar bend, the structural engineer has provided the bar bending schedule to take the overall length, put it here. The overall length multiplied by the quantity you put here. This one would not be here. So by then they would have done you would have seen this overall length. Then you now do this. But this one we are calculating from this. Then we go to the second one. The second one is 1.4. 1.4 minus this is 1.3 plus 500. That is 1.8. So here you have a 1.8, and the numbers should be 8. Let's check if it is 8. Let's check if it is 8. The bars are 8 here. This one, the bars are 7. So we go back to the drawings, drag this one down. You drag this one down, then 1.2 take out. You take out 1.1 plus 500, 1.6. 1.6. and 7. So you can see I am done with everything footing and its excavation and associated works in the space of maybe 3-4 minutes. Then I want to emphasize, I want to illustrate something here that is of importance if you have created, because some drawings, some bill of quantities, they differentiate the types of bars at every categories. And some bill of quantity, they lump up all the bars together and just see the tonnage. So should, in a case where you are given a bill of quantity that you needed to cipher the reinforcement, let's take for instance, the footing B2 is 16 bar, is 16 bar, and B3 is 10 bar. We delete this. So you can see I'm having 800 and what is supposed to link, I'm supposed to link to my bill is 847 kg. But in case where you have the bill of quantities that the bills, the reinforcement are CIFA. So I came to this place. You can see what the formula is saying. The formula is saying, whatever length of bar I put here, multiplied by the weight of the bar, plus whatever thing I put here, multiply the weight of bar, whatever thing I put here, the weight of bar, multiply by the weight of this bar, thing I put here, whatever of this bar, whatever thing I put here, multiply by the, then you can now let's come to the formula. You can see there are dollar sign. This dollar sign is very, if you need to understand how to use this dollar sign. This dollar sign now enables this formula. Now that I've done this formula on this cell and I needed to drag it down, if those dollar signs are not there, if I drag it to this other cell, this one will be picking the next cell. Guys, this will be picking the next cell. Then the next cell will be picking this cell. But now that the dollar sign is saying that you should always refer to this wherever the formula is referred to this. Refer to this cell in this row. Don't refer to the next cell. Refer to this cell. So it's always referring to this cell. If you drag it, even if you drag it beyond this place, it will multiply this cell and multiply this cell. So the formula is saying, refer to this cell and multiply by whatever thing you see in this cell. Refer to this cell, multiply by whatever you see in this cell. Refer to this cell, multiply by what you see in this cell. And now that I have done this, and I was trying to explain that if you have a bill that you needed to cipher, to categorize the reinforcement, I came down to this place and now categorize the reinforcement. Now in Y6, the 16 bar is 772 kg out of this 887. Y12 is 60 kg, Y10 is 13 kg. For us to check if this is correct, is for you to check is 874 kg here, 874. And what is this formula saying? This formula is saying, take the quantity of the footing, multiply by whatever you see in this cell, multiply by the weight. Take the quantity you see here, multiply by this, whatever you see in the weight. So now I am ciphering it. So now, if I have bill of quantity that has 16 bar, I'm going to put 772 kg in 16 bar area, even though their rates are going to be the same, 12 mm, 60 kg, 10 mm, this. And why this is important, it helps you to know what quantum of 10 mm you need to buy. You don't need to go calculate again. You don't need to go again to start doing calculation to get it. At least you know what 10 mm is. Then you add the whatever waste you needed to do. You convert it to pieces, and you know what. So having done this, we quickly go to the column. I've been able to extract the columns as well. C1, C2, C3, C4, C4, C5, C6, C7, C8. Now, and C1 is 350 by 150, and the depth of the column, we can go to the drawings for us to see the depth of the column. The depth of the column is from the top of the footing to the bottom of the grade slab. So if you add this 300, 350 plus this, you have 125. Then the columns shown here, C1 section for section 11, 350, 150, 350, 150, 350, 150. Then this is the one I want to discuss so that we understand. You know, it's an angle column. The concrete, I don't have a problem taking the concrete in this manner, then taking this one separately, meaning I'm going to take 350 by 150, then I will now take 350 minus 150 times 150 to give me this one. Then for the formwork too, I'm going to take this, then I will now minus 150, that is a depth by one, that is this width by 150 to take off whatever, or if I want to take this section and bring it here, so that for the formwork here, I'm going to take only this side and this side. Then this one account for this one. Why for this one, I'm only taking this and this. So let's go to the bill. So now, and it is column 4. That's why you see I have 350 by 150 by the depth, then I now have the other angle, which is one number 2. You have 350 minus 150 plus times this gives me this. Then when we come to the formula now for the formwork, the formula will not be this again. The formula will now be the length is where, let's go to the formula and see. It will now be Z, 2 of Z, 2 times Z. I take off this 2 times Z, Z41. I take out this times Z, then I take this out. It's no longer, I take this out, then by the height. So by so doing, I've been able to account for, I have not measured twice the header face of the formwork. So after putting all of this, see, I have the concrete formwork for my substructure column. Then we now go to the reinforcement. The reinforcement are in this shape. So let's go to the drawing and check what the reinforcements say. The reinforcement says they've already given us the height of the starter. If there was no height of the starter, we have a formula. 50 times the diameter gives us anything projection. So, but since we have it already, I take this length all up to the bottom minus cover. Then equally, if I want to minus again to get to this length, I minus cover, I minus the reinforcement, the thickness of the reinforcement, that is 24, 12, 12, 24, I'll get to this level. Then I've gotten the length. Then remaining this projection. There's a formula to calculate the projection. Which there's a formula to calculate this, but for the purpose of this exercise, I'm going to take a 300 here. And by the time I did the calculation plus the 300, I got 2.38. And that was what I brought I brought down to this place. As I have a 4 number, the bars are 4 times 2.38. Then the reinforcement for the link. If you're not given the link, you ought to calculate. But I have a spreadsheet here that I have been able to do to show that I can use Excel as well to compute my reinforcement, the length of my reinforcement. I come to calculation of this. So what I needed to do is I will come here to discuss this much later. Now, this is the shape of the bar, even though it doesn't look like it's like this. So now I have a 350 here. I have a 150, which is the header face. If I have a 350 and they said the cover is 40, I less cover by 2, 80. Then I deduct bent. Twice the bent, which is the iron is 800, it's 8, that is 8 millimeter bar, 32. So I have this length for the longer side. Then I have 38 for the shorter side. Then by 2 will give me 500 and 500 and sorry, by 2 will give me 500 and 552 plus this return, this return, this return, and this return. 2 times 75 gives me 150. 150 plus this give me 702. So 702, we come to our substructure. I put it's 8 number because the drawing has said 8 number. This is 8 number, is between this line and this line. So it's 8 number. I come to my this, you see, and I have 8 number multiplied by 0 gives me 1. Give me the numbers of, that is the length of the number of stirrups in that space. Then the total weight for the two, so the 16 and the Y8 is 120. Then I come to this place again. It is now divided. It is now splitted into 16 and 8. Into 16 and 8. So you have a 105 kg and you have a 15 kg. So after doing this, you see, I can as well go all through. I'll finish this. But for the purpose of time, we can as well practice this on our own. We can practice this on our own to conclude it. Then the next item for us to round up the substructure, the whole of substructure, is the block work and the strip footing and the excavation of the trenches. As you can see, we've been able to conclude the part foundations and its associated earthwork. And what is remaining to complete the substructure entirely is the block work, the slab on grade, and the associated earthwork. And I've created another sheet that shows how that is going to make it easier for me to measure that aspect. And that is what you're seeing before you now is another spreadsheet that is showing, because I want to take the block work in grids, and I'm taking the length of each of the block work in grid, and I'm deducting the things I needed to deduct to now have a clear length for the block and a clear length for the excavation I'm going to do. Because, having excavated the pit and the working space around it, the remaining portion to dig for the strip footing is small. But that does not reduce the length of the block work, because the block work is going to striking the columns to column. So that is why you're going to see I'm going to be using 2 lengths here. I'm going to be using 1 length that eventually I'm going to split into 2 lengths. One of the lengths is going to be for excavation and the other one is going to be for block work. So you come along with me, you see, here I have all the grids. Here I have quantity, I have the length, I have these columns. In the drawings in review, we have these columns, column 1 to 7, then we have B1 to 3. So, and column in grid 1, which is grid 1, which is grid 1A, which is 6.15, which is the length from C to G, which is the length from C to G, which grid 1A, A, comma, then C to G. The length is 1.65, and we have C1 and C3 there. C1, we have C3 because I want to take my block work all through to this area, meaning I'm going to deduct this and deduct half of this and half of that, because the block is starting on the face, on this face, and starting on this face. So that is why you see in C1, I am taking 0.75 times 2, 0.75 from the other side and the end there. Then C3, I'm taking it completely. So that gives me the length of my block work. Then Y for the length of the footing is this. I have, if you come to the drawing, you see that I have this footing at the middle, this footing at the middle, while this footing at the end, this footing at the end. So for me to get to this place, I needed to take out what the side B2 is 1.5. I need to take 700 here to get here. I need to take 700 here to get here, and I need to take this one out completely. Then I need to take working space again. I need to take working space. So I'm going to take 4 working space out of this place, because after getting to this place, I have a 600 here, I have a 600 here, I have a 600, I have a 600 here. So I will now go back to here, and I'll say the working space is 0.6 times, no, 0.7 times 4. Then the footing, I have, no, the working space is 0.6, sorry, times 4. Why the B2 is 1.4 times 2 times 2 times 2, because it's B2. So I take this is 1.4 completely. Then I have another 1.4 here. Now I have another 700, I have another 700. So I come to this place, this one now will be times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. So it gives me this. So my excavation length is 3.5. Then the depth we had before is 1.25. So usually it's not the same. Usually it's not the same. Then the block height, usually there is the block projecting by above the floor. So if I have up to the natural ground level as 1.25, then say the building will slightly elevate from the natural ground floor, because you don't know the level of how the road will be. So maybe I add another 2 blocks, making it 250 plus and now say equals to 1.25 plus 0.45 gives me the height of my block. 1.25 equals to 1.25 minus the strip 0.225, then plus 0.45 gives me the height of my blocks. So as you can see, as you can see already, the excavation, the earthwork, the backfilling, the leveling and compacting, the anti-termite disposal, and the block and the concrete has arrived. So having done this, you see that I am done with my form, with my with my substructure. What is remaining is just to measure the slab. And if there is a BRC, I need to measure a square meter, and the concrete is the shape of the slab that you're going to take. So if this has really improved, or you've understood this, or you're still left with something to understand, you can ask whatever question you needed to ask on my page, and I'm going to reply you. The next one, I'm going to continue on this same series till I take us through how to measure reinforcement for the superstructures and all. Both the finishing, it makes it more easier for you. If you understand it, makes it more easier for you to measure. Thank you for watching.